Okay, engineers, so you've spent all this time looking up different obstacles and getting ideas for your skate park. So now it's time to actually create the chart of measurements so that when you go into Tinkercad to create your design, you have an idea of what size the shapes need to be. So first things first, we need to know how big our skate park can be. So looking up a skate park in our area in Maryland, only skate park is 90 feet by 160 feet by 10 feet. And so that is what we're going to use as our guide for our skate park as well. So since it's in feet, we need to change it into inches since Tinkercad's grid works in inches. So to change the measurement from feet to inches, to convert it, we have to multiply the number by 12. So if it is 90 feet, if we go to Google and simply type in 90 times 12, we see that 90 feet times 12 inches gives us 1,080 inches. So on our chart, we type in 1,080 inches. Then we want to find out how many inches are in 160 feet. So then we go back and we type this into 160 feet times 12 inches. Oops, 160, not 1,600. And we see that it becomes 1,920 inches. So over here, where it says converting to inches, we put in our second measurement of 1,920 inches. The last measurement, which is our height, is 10 feet. So we go back and we multiply 10 times 12, and we know that this is simply 120 inches. So we put this as our last measurement. Now the problem is these are huge. In Tinkercad, we don't have enough space for a life-size skate park. So we need to scale it down so that we can actually represent it and still have our measurements make sense and everything proportional to each other, but in a reasonable size. So to scale down our skate park, we're going to divide it by 100. So we're going to scale it down to 1%. To do that, to divide by 100, you simply move your decimal place over to the left 2. So if we look at 1,080, our decimal place is at the end of the number. So to move your decimal place over 2, we remove it from here and we move to the left, 1, 2, and the new location of our decimal place at 1% is 10.8. So we now have our measurement in our 1% scale. We do the next thing with our next number. So we have 1,920. We move our decimal place over 2, so we move 1, 2, and that gives us 19.2. And then for the last one, we start at the end, we move our decimal place 2, 1, 2, and we now have 1.2 inches. So now when we go into Tinkercad and we want to design our skate park, we know that our total size for our skate park is 10.8 by 19.2 by 1.2 inches. Let's say we want to add in a new feature. So we've researched and we found that this kicker ramp here is 4 feet long, 19 inches wide, and 9 inches tall. So we add that into our chart. So let's call it the kicker ramp. And it was 4 feet long by, let's go back and check so we don't make a mistake, 19 inches wide and by 9 inches tall. So 4 feet by 19 inches. Make sure to label so you don't forget which ones are inches and which ones are feet. And by 9 inches tall. So again, to convert into inches, we already have 2 measurements that are already in inches. So really the only thing we have to convert is our 4 feet. So we do 4 times 12, which is 48. And we label it with the inches symbol. Then we do multiplied by, and we continue to keep our inches. So we have 19 inches by 9 inches. So then to scale that down, you have to divide and make it even smaller. Good luck!